Once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this today
I'll mute my mic.
Victoria Show. The Victoria
I hope,
Show
I hope,
is
I
a
hope your
national
network is
advocacy
good.
and education platform designed to confront violence in its many forms, especially person-based violence, sexual violence, and harmful traditional practices such as child marriage. In today's show, a supreme and strong topic that has been laid before us to deliberate on, to agitate on, and share ideas and teach others, and also be open-minded to learn from professionals in order to live well in a society, in a pragmatic society like ours. The topic today is consent is a right, while our laws still fail intimate partners. And our panelists today, the number one speaker today will be Miss Oluchi Moren. She is the founder of Splendid Arts Initiative. Please, ma'am, you're welcome. Our second speaker for today's show is Mr. Markfred Akochuku. Mr. Markfred, you're welcome. Let me use this moment and this opportunity to also acknowledge my ED, the founder of this organization. I'm talking to not another person than Chief Jennifer Mbafang Ali.
Thank you very, very much, Your Excellency, Mr. Obi Sunday Obi. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Victoria Show. We are not here today for comfort. We are here for clarity, and today I want everybody's mind to be open to learn. The topic for us today is consent. Consent is not about culture. Consent is not about romance. Consent is not about marriage or relationship. Consent is a fundamental human right. Yet, across Nigeria and many other communities, harm inside intimate relationships is minimized, excused, or even silenced. Not because it is unclear, but because our early condition taught us wrong things for the wrong reason. That early conditioning is the foundation of many of the crises that we have in marriages and in our lives today. Tonight, we'll confront a very hard truth. When laws hesitate inside relationships, they are not neutral, they are complicit. Real protection requires more policy, it requires behavioral change, it requires mindset re-engineering, and it requires unlearning what normalized harm, no matter the place. Please, let us begin.
So much, man, for that wonderful insight. Does Nigerian laws still struggle to fully recognize harm inside intimate relationships?
The opportunity for anybody in the audience to please tell us why they think that Nigerian law failed to recognize harm in intimate relationship. We all agree that abuse or harm in relationship is not a private matter at all. It is a fundamental human right. And when people yes, so
it is.
yes, ma'am.
It is.
Go ahead.
It is. First and foremost, I beg to disagree that Nigerian laws does not recognize
Harm in
harm in
marriages.
marriage. Yes, marriages. I don't think it's right. It's correct because it's an issue of the police and its normal ways of handling things and the culture and the African culture. Because I don't want to say the Nigerian culture because it's an African thing. You know, in most cases, when they go and discover that it's husband and wife, the police people, they just they downplay it. Battered and black. But you know, Yeah, they downplay it's husband is leave them, it's love. They are playing love, they downplay. Most cases because these women do not even know their rights, that they have to take these things to court. They have to take this into, so they now agree and accept their situation, go back home, it's my husband, go, you people, go and settle, love yourselves and continue,
And when similar thing happen the next time, she will not go to report again because, well, he's my husband.
It's my husband, and she takes it, or she now, okay, let me just pack and go back to my parents' homes and go and rest for a while and come back, and the rest of the time, and come back and continue the battery. So the question is, why are women failing to face outright involvement of lawyers or legal battle when it comes to assault in the homes? Is it an issue of ignorance? Is it an issue of they are not education of awareness for these women to know that you have the right to get a lawyer? There are even organizations who are ever ready, like the FIDA, Lawyers Alert, and the rest, who are ready to give you lawyers free to stand for you. So I think it's the issue of the police trying to just do things their way, and it's not the Nigerian law. Thank you.
Yes, and we really recognize and thank you very much for your input, and everything you said made so much sense, really. And most times people don't even get to report most of their assault and harm in relationships because of all those things you listed, and then the procedural barrier, the procedure. By the time you get to the police station, they say, oh, the desk officer for sex and gender offenses is not on seat. Give us a while. Mr. Ken Agbe. Sorry, Dr. Ken. Forgive me, comrade. Dr. Ken Agbe, PhD. Kindly make your contribution, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Yes.
I'm yet to be a doctor. I'm an academician anyway. Thank you so much, Chief.
It's already in view.
Yes. And I want to say quickly, it's first of all, it starts with our perception about things. And this perception also starts from our foundation and fundamental trainings as individuals. So, and most times you look at the Nigeria system, or generally, people get their first training and perception about life from the family unit. And there are a lot of things that family units in Nigeria have trivialized, and a lot of things family units have turned to like an abomination. So, and from us as individuals, which have this background, fundamental trainings as from the family, are the persons that go along to become policemen, become lawyers, and become whatever it is. So you observe that first basic perception and trainings we have as families that seem to put the woman down and make the man the all and all in the African setting is what plays into what we are seeing today in the system. And so when you come to meet a policeman, he's first of all thinking as an individual is, what is this? Before his training as a police will come forth, or his training as a lawyer, his mindset that has been built is the fundamental problem we have in Nigeria. So sometimes when I talk to some persons, they feel, are you a man, Seth? Why are you talking as if you're not a man? So I don't think it is because of our policing is bad or the process. The people that are in the policing, that are in the process, that are in the judiciary, already have the mindset that this is a trivial issue. So there is no forcefulness to talk about it or to pursue it. And I think what you are doing, Chief, is very important to us, for us to be retrained, for us.
Thank you very much for your wonderful contribution. I couldn't have even said it better. Like in my opening remark, I talked about this early condition. Now, what people already believe is so difficult to let them leave it and move on with their lives. It's very, very difficult. For just like what you said, like the policeman, for instance, that you're coming to say your husband raped you. What he grew up knowing is If I marry you, I own your body. I own you. You have no say over your own body because I have paid your bride price. So this woman is coming here to say her husband raped her. Madam, they don't pay your bride price. And then the woman be like, they pay my bride price. So how did your husband rape you? So we need to go beyond trying to say, oh, the laws are protecting intimate partners. We must have education for the actors, the police, the law enforcement, everybody that has to work around ending violence in relationship, especially intimate relationship. And one of the number one fundamental issue is early conditioning. How people thought, how people think, how people were made to believe. And I really love what you say. And again, I want to talk about the issue of culture. Are we now saying that culture is stronger than our constitutional rights? Or we have just simply refused to recognize and confront harmful interpretations of culture? Because there are so many cultural beliefs that are harmful. Take, for instance, there are some cultures that still believe in young child marriages. That one is reflecting. In young child marriage, you can imagine a child of 13 years, somebody will say, go on, once a child see her period, she's supposed to have a husband. And then a 13-year-old girl goes into a relationship, a marriage that she has no clue. At 13, we were still playing with gongoni at the backyard, cooking food and carrying a baby at our back. And then at 13, she's raped countlessly. She gets pregnant, develops DVF, dies or bleeds out and everything. And then life just goes on. The law recognizes consent in theory, but enforcement of the same laws collapse inside intimacy. And this is not a loophole. This is a structural failure. And all these must end. And how can they end? From me and you. Now we have 22 people on the Victoria show this evening. If today you are leaving this place with nothing, but you are able to remember that the law should not only be enforced on single people, but also people in relationship, then something has already changed, at least in your family, at least in your office, at least in your own relationship. If before today you were thinking that since you have paid bride price, you own your wife, she has no right to say no, she's on her period or not, she's in a good mood or not, you have a nasty outburst in the afternoon, you come back, you don't resolve, you don't talk about it, and you just want to have sex, and then she says no, and then you go ahead and have sex with her. Man, Oga, you have just raped your wife. And if your wife goes to report, you may be able to be sentenced to up to 15 years in jail. So let's know these things so that we'll protect ourselves from harm. Many Africans go abroad and they get married to other cultural people, other people from other backgrounds, and they get into all these troubles because of ignorance. And where the law exists, ignorance is not an excuse. So if we know all this night and we're able to share the message across with every other person in our life and then practice these things and do better. To everybody for your beautiful and wonderful contributions. I will let Mr. Obi Sunday read the comments in the chat box and they ask.
Thank you so much for that wonderful one. We were speaking, one of our speakers joined us, Mr. Macfred. Mr. Macfred, please, I will give you 5 seconds for you to just greet the house before we proceed. Mr. Macfred, please just say hello to the house. You're one of our speakers. Thank you, sir.
I really want to say good evening to all of us that are here, especially to our leader also, Chief. And I say also want to apologize for maybe joining in late. I've been on traffic over here, and I'm really glad that I've been able to maybe finally join after the little delay.
Thank you so much. We'll move to our next question. Our next question here says, what policy reform will make consent enforceable, not symbolic?
Reform, from my little experience also, and also working in this particular niche, I forgot to also mention that I happened to found an organization called Gens Hangout. So we are basically concerned about male the boy child, the self-adolescent men, and even men of all ages. So this year should be our 5 years in Navy service. So I've been privileged to maybe take some of these concerns of maybe consent, especially when their wives or maybe our community members maybe have to maybe reach out to us and complain that maybe their husband is doing this and that, and then also the men also maybe bring up some few issues about their wives and then partners also. So from the little knowledge I actually have, I think beyond us mediating also, there should be a lot of sensitization, because I feel that most people out there, they are not really aware that this thing is even a law, that as maybe you cannot just go and abuse your maybe partner with the vice that I'm the one that maybe married him, or maybe then say I'm the man of the house, or maybe stuff like that. And then say also, though this thing is not really particularly peculiar to just women also, during our course of our work also, many men have also complained that their wives also are directly or indirectly abusing them. So I'm not really going to go and take side and say, okay, if it's the women I'm talking about now, or maybe say if it's the men. So I'm talking generally that I feel that there should be more sensitization, more awareness, especially from our religious bodies also. I think, and I would suggest that the time for maybe ceremony, whether it's the traditional marriage or the church marriage or the Muslim marriage, there should be a specified clause also that should be read maybe loud, that okay, you as a man, or you as a woman also, make sure that you seek your own partner's consent before any passing yourself even to the person. So I feel when this consciousness like is there, there'll be like a lot of knowing. There'll be also be like a lot of also maybe knowledge also, because recently last year around September time, we received a report of two couples also. Their major concern was that the man is like always saying I'm weak and the rest. So the wife was now accusing him of as maybe sleeping outside. So if this man, within all sincerity, said no. So we are able to also come in and then discover that if even the wife did not even know the partner too well, to make such an allegations. So my way of saying that there should be a lot of awareness, a lot of sensitization, a lot of as trying to reorient the both partners, especially when they are about to say maybe say if I do, or whether it's even like a traditional marriage also. So with that also, as we'll be able to reduce the menace of okay, I'm not even seeking your consent for that particular drive.
All right, thank you, Mr. Maxwell. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. We really appreciate. Thank you so much. Please, the floor is still open for any of our attendees to make use of our input. Thank you.
Can I react?
Yes, sir. You're free, sir.
I want to react as an academician, and I want to react as a nurse. Now, when we look at consent in marriage as regards sex, I'm a nurse, so I'm not careful to use these words. Please pardon me. as regards sex, you observe that we just sometimes look at the physical violence of it, but we don't look at the health implication that it brings as regards STDs and the rest of it. Okay, when we begin to look at that point of it, we'll take it much more severe. Now, why am I saying this? The question was, what reforms should we make that will make it go past the phase of symbolic? We have the laws, we have this, we have the this and this, and going into enforcement. Personally, I will first of all say we should begin to prosecute those people that were reported to and they trivialized it. When we report issues to a policeman and the policeman trivializes it, sees it, there should be laws to prosecute such a policeman, such that when it comes to his table, he knows it's not just to wave off. If this thing gets beyond the table, him or her can be persecuted. I think that would be a radical change into how we begin to view it from the point of enforcers or from the point of the judiciaries. That is my submission. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yes, please. Go ahead,
ahead,
Prof.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm in transit and I just joined in the middle of the conversation, but it's quite an interesting one and also a thing of concern. I come from the academia at the Center for Gender Studies in consent. It's a very tricky one, especially if we want to see it in the context of our culture and tradition, as the previous speakers have rightly pointed out. And so for me, the point to begin, like the one but last speaker said, we have to begin at the level of conscientization, because this is an entrenched, the lack of understanding of what consent is, it is actually an entrenched cultural thing. Sometimes, surprisingly, you will notice that it's those who are victims, victims or potential victims, that we ask the victim reason why she thinks that she needs to report. For instance, when it's intimate partner violence. So for me, it's important to begin at the level of the family. What are we doing with what are we telling our children? What are we telling those who are in our care? I was at a PTA meeting, and a parent, an educated person, stood up and was saying that he's not happy the level of understanding about, sex education that his child is exposed to. Knowledge about her body, knowledge about what she should say no to. And the proprietors of the school said they were going to do that. So you imagine that somebody high up there is not aware, is not happy, for instance, that the child is being taught about parts of the body that are sensitive, what a child should raise alarm about when an adult does that to her. So it has to begin at that level. We should open conversation with our children to know these things. And then for me, again, there's something that has to be done with the school curriculum. The school curriculum. We need to reintroduce the issue of sex education so that our children are exposed to human sexuality, and they know precisely what is involved. Their rights in that context is very important. If we don't do that, and then we sit at chat rooms such as this, we sit at conferences and workshop rooms, and we talk about this thing, wallahi, these things we remain with us, and we can get all the emotions, we can say expose all of the emotions that we can, but they may not sink because we may not be speaking to the root causes, the foundations of this matter. So it has to begin from that level. For me, it has to begin from that. Otherwise, when we talk about legal frameworks, they will just remain at the level of abstraction there. You go to the police, like the Jawasi sister has said. You go to the police, you go to the social way. For instance, we had one case of rape, and we went there. The girl was 14, and painfully, one policeman was saying, well, what is it? You know, she's old enough now. This one don't mature finish now. This one don't mature finish. So what is it? What is the reporting about? So for me, awareness, education, very important. We need to deconstruct the traditional element, the cultures. We need to do that. And you know, once we are able to do that, then we can situate our actions in the context of knowledge. People who have knowledge, who appreciate this knowledge, we need to speak about these things. We need to talk, you know, at every opportunity that we have. We need to talk, and persuasively so that these issues, there's knowledge about them, and then we can engage the process, we can engage the legal frameworks, and they will work better. This is what I think my contribution at this point is. Again, thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you very, very much, Professor Membe. Your contributions are so on point. Like, we need to transcend from just gathering on platforms like this and speaking. And coincidentally, last year, December, on the 12th of December, was actually our 1-year anniversary since we have been having these conversations. And I put all those conversations into a book that I have called From Silence to Strength. We are trying to break the silence around violence, especially sexual and gender and person-based violence. And if you look at the book, it has covered a lot of all these things. And not just that, the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, was actually at this book launch, and he had already made a pledge that he would love for us to push for the policy implementation and even enact new policies that will protect people against sexual and gender-based violence. And a matter of fact, I like talking with data. I like talking with data backed. Like, if I know 55 people, 55 male, if I'm not exaggerating, 50 of them have been raped. And nobody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about girls and women and girls and women. Our boys are being raped right under our roof. But these are very uncomfortable topics that parents don't want to talk about. So if we are able to make this book accommodate children, accommodate parents, accommodate police officers, law enforcement, violent crime units in different task forces and different organizations, then I think we're going to have a very safe community in the long run. And the work is going to be very difficult. That is why I have said that I'm not going to do this alone. And I'm very, very grateful that I have people like this on this call. And by God's special grace, we are going to inculcate this into our curriculums, where we are catching these children young, because early conditioning is very, very strong. And it plays a lot of fundamental issues in the society. We have a story last month that was trending of a girl that was raped and almost took her own life, of where she was taken on a date with a guy, and then she really liked this guy. They were into each other, they were kissing, went back to his house, and then she was like, oh, she doesn't want to have sex. And then this guy was like, but you've been leading me on, and then he raped her. We are following up on that case. As we speak, that guy is in police custody. You see that thing that happened to Ochanya and the rest of all those people that justice seems like it has eluded? No, we are going to fight and make sure that everybody who was raped gets justice. And just like that other question about policy reform, we must have explicit criminal recognition and non-consensual acts. When we are not thinking of conscience, we're not thinking of, oh, it's a family matter now. Do you want to disgrace your family? Your uncle raped you and you came to police. Do you know that your uncle is the governor's ex-husband's wife brother? We must explicitly punish people that try to cover up crimes that are committed against any person, irrespective of who they are. Dr. Ben, please, we would love for you to introduce yourself so that we'll hear your name and know exactly how you want to be addressed. Your hand is up. I'll mute my mic now and let you speak for 2 minutes with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so very much, my dearest diva, as I call you. My name is Ben Onyukwu Chimeremeze Anyibe. That my name is already a big title, Onyukwu. So that's enough. That's enough for me.
All right.
I'm so glad to be here this evening. I did presume this is going to be a tough discussion, but I want to appreciate a forum of this nature and what the organizers of this program are doing. I think the policy you are talking about and what other previous speakers have mentioned, education on this issue, they are all very, very helpful and pragmatic steps to addressing the problem. But I want to also add that a forum like this is well appreciated and should be encouraged. I think maybe some of us know a little, some of us know a lot. So when you come here, you get more knowledge, you get more educated, you get encouraged that you're not alone on fighting on issue of this nature. So I want to say that just like the coordinator has mentioned, if this kind of forum could be supported so that there will be outlets in many local governments, trying to gather children and, educate them. Maybe the church, maybe the mosque can also be an outlet to passing this message. Now, just as we're talking, this is the message I give to Nigerians. I observe people think that in Europe, I've been to different European countries, US, and I find out that people in Africa or Nigeria think sex is easy in Europe, in America. Yes, it might be easy. Even an ashawo in Europe, you can't, if you approach her wrongly by just touching and misbehaving, just like people do in public in Nigeria, you get yourself into trouble.
Big trouble.
There is no respect, no boundary, because you have money, because you have position. Sometimes I don't know what it is. Maybe lack of moral values, the way the person who is approaching and the person who is approached. A banker comes to you to propose you banking their money, and you are like, oh, okay, my dear, come and sit on my laps. And the lady will foolishly also sit on the laps of the man just to do anything to. That's degrading. And that is the difference. Here in the West, people, even though they want the sex, if you make wrong approach, they will feel insulted and they will just get away. But in Nigeria, it happens like either the person who is abused or the person who is abusing have little consciousness of self-respect. And that makes the whole difference. So people need to create that kind of boundary, and this happens because of awareness. You know that because you have money doesn't give you access to speak to me anyhow. People just go directly to people, strangers they don't know. "Nne, you look so beautiful. Come here." And they start robbing the hands. I'm like,
The
How?
bump
How
of
would you allow anybody to do that to you? That is so degrading. That
Yeah.
cannot happen
yeah.
to even somebody who is horny in
Do you
Europe.
know? Do you know?
That,
Let
that
me.
is a turn
Do you know
off.
that? Do you know
So
that it was captured in my book? I was trying to see you can be in prison for 5 years in Nigeria. So you see those guys in the market that just unsolicited, just touch you, they will rob you. Like they're not even touching you. They rob you on. There was a time that, sorry to cut you, but there was a time I was going about with pin and wipes in the market. Anytime I'm going to the market, I'm already traumatized because I know that somebody will harass me. And it's very, very offensive.
So yeah, people need to have
need to
a
know.
high level of self-respect, create boundaries. Even when you're horny, you want men, you want. And today, Nigeria is turned into, if you have a good shape, you can get millions without working, and people are encouraged. So
Buying it,
people are already defeated.
dying, doing surgery.
They're mentally defeated before you even share this message because they
True.
want survival. So a lot of things need to be done so that people will have a high level of self-respect and be in control of their body, whether they want or they don't want, but at least have that level of self-respect so that people cannot cross it easily. And
Thank you.
awareness and advocacy will help do this. So that's the least I want to contribute for now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ben Anyobe. Anyabe. Oh, goodness. I always murder your name. So I
It
apologize.
is Anyibe,
Anyibe. Oh my God.
Okay.
Dr. Ben, I will stop that.
Can I go
Honorable
say
Ben, let me stop there.
Hon-
And if you
Honorable,
don't know, for those
honorable
of you that don't know,
Zinado.
that is the president of the Nigerians in diaspora, Europe. That one. Every right that has a consequence, that's the only right that becomes our protection. Let's not forget. Because if we know that the right of a person is to live free, it is the right, but there's no enforcement, then it's just a correction. But if we start enforcing those
basic?
laws, yes, if we start enforcing the laws that surround the violation of human rights, then that is where the protection and the upholding of those laws will exist. Thank you, everybody.
1
Yes,
minute
please. Yes,
remark.
no.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Like I earlier stated, that Nigeria, we have laws. It's not as if there are no laws. We have laws. We have treaties that Nigeria is signatory to that backs the abuse of women, domestic violence, human rights. The major problem we have in this country is about implementation. We have these laws that are already domesticated, but the problem is that of implementation. That's what we have in Nigeria. In every state, those laws exist, but are they being implemented? That is a major problem, and that's why it's like nothing is happening. So what we really push for now is for implementation. For pushing for anything at all, is for implementation of these laws. If these laws will be implemented, that is the first thing, implementation of this law. And the other thing, just like I earlier said, that most of these women do not know their rights.
Yeah, right.
Very few know their rights. Most of these women do not know their rights.
And they don't, even those that know their right, they don't know how to report. They don't know what to do,
they don't know what process to take.
Yes.
And all that based on cultural beliefs of African cultural belief or Nigerian cultural belief. They feel, oh, I don't want to sell my family to the public. I don't want to bring out the family name and the rest of the things. They can even take you back to the village house where the head of the family, they put you in the middle. So you took our family out.
They bully you, like
they bully you simply because you were touched. You've taken our family out and the rest of the things. You want to disgrace us. So it becomes
and they use you as a scapegoat to one other younger wife.
Exactly. So just like the other speaker said about conscientization, we need to really put in more efforts into creating awareness, and this awareness has to start from the primary school. elementary classes where this man is coming to say they are trying to pollute his daughter. He doesn't know that they are doing so much good to that his daughter. So that awareness, we cannot emphasize it enough, that that there should be awareness creation starting from primary, secondary school, and tertiary institutions, where people will begin to know, both men and both gender will know their rights, that look as appropriate this stage, I'm supposed to really pick it up. I'm supposed to get a lawyer, I can get a lawyer, and even know the agencies where they will get these services for free, because we have a lot of them arriving in Benue State. Yeah, in Abuja we have these agencies free, where who can stand in for you at no cost. Thank you very much. And again, just want to commend you and the Victoria Show team for this very beautiful job you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. And somebody asked a question. Somebody said, what happens when a partner consistently denies his or her partner and it results to partial rape as a result of starvation? Like sex starvation, you mean, right? So does anybody care to give an answer?
It's I think it's wrong. It's wrong for any partner to deny. If there's no agreement between the two of them, there should be an agreement for a couple that waits for so reason we need to stay off, for so reason we need to stay off. If there's no agreement, there is wrong for any partner to deny. If you are offended in the morning, once it's in the evening, that offense should not reach that end at all. It should not reach that end. But it's also wrong for anyone to force yourself on a partner because she has not willingly given herself to you. No, it's also very wrong, because it amounts to rape. But just like I said, if that is done, I don't know, it depends on the partner. If she feels seriously aggrieved and she feels she should pick it up, you have the right to do so. Yes. But I think dialogue and you work this out. Thank you.
Any other comment on this question, please?
Yes,
yes,
I don't believe there's anything like partial rape. Rape is rape.
Rape is rape, bam! First of all, there's nothing like partial rape. See, do you know what rape is? Let me explain to you. Rape is non-consensual physical, whether penetrate. See, there's a way you will even touch my hand and it will enter my head, and I can tell a lawyer that can tell you that was rape, will be able to prove it, and yes, you will face it. So talk less of penetration, you now say partial. Please let me allow Obi to Mr. Ken to land before I break this table, because my blood is boiling.
I hope it sinks to the person that asked the question. First of all, please be clear. There's nothing like partial rape in any I don't know
context.
How you talked about it. Yes, but communication is key for any relationship to strive. I think probably this show will also get to a point where we'll talk about proper communication in relationship, communication that makes a relationship strive. So communication is key. Like Professor said, you must find a way to communicate with your partner, whatever it is. And now we are looking at it from a positive sense of it. But let's look at it in a negative sense of it, because I'm thinking from a health point of view. What if this denial is because of suspicions of this partner having STDs or whatever it is? So we are just saying,
you have bad character. You have bad character. You are doing bad things from morning till night, and then in the night you just want to come and let everything be okay.
Chief, because I'm talking like a nurse. You know? Yes. Why I'm saying I'm talking like a nurse.
Why partners deny each other sex?
Yes.
I don't think anybody just want to stay and don't want to have sex.
Exactly. In nurse, we talk about subjective assessment and objective assessment. So objectively, let's look at it. If a partner that has had a lot of history of a lot of stuff, and I am in this position suspicious of the partner of probably one disease or the other, and probably I've communicated to you that we need to do a test before we can.
You refuse to yield.
And you refuse to do the test. You cannot tell me that at the end of the day you forcefully have it and you say it's partial rape. So there's no partiality. That's my opinion, because we should not look at it from the positive point. You starved me. Why did I starve you? We should also look at it from that point of view. Because I've had cousin that consistently she had to treat STD in
Because
a
she's
marriage.
in a relationship.
Like,
Marriage.
it reoccurred several times in her marriage. And she's not married to an illiterate. She was married to a banker. So you could imagine that. And so we should also see it from the other point of view.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
But communication, like you said, is very, very important. And when people, okay, she's further explaining, she said, I'm actually asking for a decent friend who has confided in me and does not want to cheat. And I have tried to communicate indirectly to his wife. Her reasons for denial is, I don't like penetration. And one other thing again, one other thing we must address in marriage is romance. It's a whole topic for another day. We're all adults here. It's very difficult for a woman that is not in the mood of having sexual intercourse to have sexual intercourse. And some men are very, very bad. You don't know anything. You're miserable in bed. Some men just think that is just to have the big size of the manhood and then just penetrate. As a matter of fact, I always tell people as a sex coach, yes, I'm a sex therapist. I tell people, penetration is for the enjoyment of the man. So you see all those girls that we telling, harder, is a lie. Very, very few, microscopic few moments do women really, really love it when they are penetrated, especially the way you people will be doing it like it's fights. Let's just say what it is. There are moments in a woman's body. We have hormonal changes every month. There are times in the month where a woman will want to be like if you will be doing sex, she'll be telling you, don't come home because you are not yet there. She's not yet okay. Then there are times that she doesn't want anything. She just wants you to touch her other organs that are very sensual. And you must study to know that is where communication also comes in. Now, it's not every time that, like today now, from January 1st of the month to the 31st of the month, every day, ta. What is the problem? If it's you, Uncle, will you even like it? So I know some men have very high libido and everything, but what do you do before you penetrate?
Chief,
What do
can
you
I say
do?
something?
Yes, sir.
To answer the girl's question so that we are not digressing,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of angle to sexual activity as it is in bed at the end of the day.
Yeah.
For me, I tell people I'm a very emotional person. I'm emotional and very sensitive to a lot of things.
Okay.
Now, let's break it down. Now, hygiene as a person can be repulsive.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes
reason.
people find it difficult to say certain things to their partner. So hygiene can be very repulsive for a partner. 1. 2, a partner that does not foreplay, like Chief is talking about. Then 3, I cannot be having issues, quarrels with you from morning till evening. Then we get to bed at night, we want to have sex. It's
without
not
discussing the
just
matter.
possible. So we have to, in as much as we are feeling for this partner, please, they need to sit down and have a very honest discussion from a neutral person. We want to know what's really the problem.
What's the
And
problem?
we have to honestly let the woman explain. It's not just about, I don't want penetration. Anybody that loves you, find a way of pleasing you. That's one thing I know.
Simple.
Yeah, so let's have a common balance. What is repulsing her from the man? If we can
What?
address that, it's settled.
And we need to also ask fundamental, foundational questions like, was he always like this? Was he always like this? Did he just start? Did you just not want again? Or there are so many things that amount to this, and I think we are going to take it after the meeting. If you can share your friend's contact with me, maybe I'll be able to help her and her husband, because you know, in a marriage that sex is not, how will I call it, frequent or available at all, that marriage is going to suffer a lot of problems. So, Mr. Mark Frere, thank you very much once again for, even as you are on transit, you made it to be here. You made out time to be here, and we really appreciate the effort and the determination. Thank you so much, Mr. Alfred. And so, if you are there, please give us your final words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for this platform. Even though I'm just getting to my road now, and I'm not even yet home even at this as at this time, but I really want to appreciate you for this particular interesting topic, and because it's very useful on this particular time actually, because it's something that we should even be maybe talk about more. I actually prepared even like a full presentation for this particular section, but like unfortunately because of time, I wasn't even able to use my presentation. So if maybe the participant will also permit, I can probably share it to the moderator to maybe share it also on the general group. That being said, also amidst all that we have been able to say here, I want to really encourage us more that apart from us here, that I feel that maybe are a lot more aware. We have brothers, we have sisters, we have siblings and sons alike. If you go out there, like any opportunity you have, keep on speaking the message, preaching the message of the right to consent. When we all are raising the awareness, I believe that so many people as maybe will be aware, not even people only. We are also belonging to different firms, organizations also. So let's still also like spread the message across from now till the second half of the year. Like we should be able to receive like a considerable amount of awareness across. With that being said, I really want to stop here because of our time, and I really appreciate our founder also for this great opportunity. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akachukwu. You are amazing. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your effort. We do sincerely appreciate you. God bless you. And if anybody else has a question or something that has been choking your liver, you want to just voice out before we go, because this is the final call, please. We would love you to take the opportunity to speak now or forever. Want to really appreciate everybody for being here, from our professors to our doctors to our honorables and to everyone who has been here. Because tonight we have not just discussed about consent, we have exposed a lot of contradictions. And I love the health angle that was put in it. And we have now all come to the agreement that consent is a right, but our system still hesitates when that right is violated inside intimate relationship or inside marriages. And it should not be so. And we have also discussed this night that we need to carry out this message beyond platforms like this. We must transcribe these messages and send it to primary schools, secondary schools, and tertiary institutions. We must train the frontiers, the people that are approaching, and the professionals that are supposed to handle cases of violation, because of the problem of early conditioning. And hesitation about violation and implementing of laws around violation of harmful behavior or violence in relationships or marriages is not an accident. It's as a result of early conditioning, just like I said before. It's because of entitlement spirit, entitlement mentality. We have normalized entitlement and we keep lying to ourselves. And then we have also rewarded silence. When people are violated and they keep quiet, they say, hey, she's a good woman, she's a good child, she's a good boy. Can't you see? Is it not just slap? They slap you, go call police. We have normalized and rewarded silence. That is why this work must go beyond awareness on platforms like this. We must demand for legal reforms. We must demand enforcement, implementation, and domestication. These are all different areas of enforcing laws that protect the human rights of individuals and persons. Because if our laws, we understand the laws, we understand our rights, most of these laws are actually implemented. But who is enforcing the domestication? That's the law in practice. We must demand for enforcement. And we are so lucky that we have the deputy speaker on our side. We have a lot of people on our team in the Juasi show. And so we should not just stop here. If you are on this call today and you are thinking of a very brilliant way to approach this to support the enforcement of laws, then it will be very, very welcome for you to reach out to us. And then we must re-engineer our mindset in our homes, in our schools, in faith spaces, and in institutions, just like all our speakers have said. Because until consent is protected everywhere, then it is protected nowhere. Because if consent is protected in my house, but it is not protected in your house, what if my daughter ends up with your son? Or what if your daughter ends up with another person's son who has no idea what consent is? So let's not say that, yeah, I'm raising my children in my house, You don't know where your kids will end up. You don't even know where you will end up. So when you come to platforms like this and you learn all this, do not be quiet. Go on your social media. Write things that you have learned about this. And then we are going to send you a feedback form on your emails that you have supplied. Please fill that feedback form honestly. That is the only way that we can be able to serve our communities better and change the narrative around sexual and gender-based violence, around every form of abuse against any person. If you're watching tonight and you are being silenced, know this: your no is always valid. Your body is not a negotiation, and your dignity is not conditional. This conversation does not end here today. If you're on this call and you have ever heard, I own you, you are the family's property, you have no say, and this and that, it was never your fault. And if you ever want to reach out, I will drop our safe space email address in the chat box and also our phone number for WhatsApp and direct calls. Please reach out and we'll be always willing to come to your aid, advise you, support you, just listen to you. I've had many calls where people say, I don't want money, I just need somebody to talk to. We are here to listen to you. Juasi has created those safe spaces through the Victoria Show. Until next time.